gentlemen, to the PGL Season 1 last chance. We've come to the crescendo of tonight. Another lower bracket game for you. So Titan versus Mousesports here. Mousesports having a pretty poor showing earlier on Overpass. Looked very lackluster. We talked about the star players. Nicolino, one had to step up. Had one of the quietest performances we've ever seen from him.
Yeah, we had 3 pairs sitting at 0 frags. The core Chris J next and Nicolino at what, like 7 rounds in or whatever?
Yep.
That usually doesn't, that's not a good thing for Mousesports at all. They really need all 3 of those working full guns blazing.
Absolutely. Well, we won't keep you waiting too long. Let's have a quick look at the player lineups tonight. I think we'll be starting with Mousesports here. I'm sure for everyone who's been watching tonight, you've sick to death of me talking about these teams. So I'm going to just briefly go through it. Next, Dennis, Nico, Chris J, God B. We will touch a little bit more on that when we come to the player matchup, but let's have a look at their opposition as well. Let's jump on to Titan and see who they were playing against. RPK, Smiths, Existence, Shoxy, and Maniac. Obviously, a lineup just being built together. Didn't have a huge showing at the major, disappointing compared to their counterparts MV, but looking to bounce back. Had a disappointing run in the PGL, has to be said. And as the title mentions, this is the last chance for them to actually have a stab at getting into the LAN final.
Yeah, it's definitely been lackluster for Titan so far. Obviously, so far, from what evidence we have, MV had the better of that deal so far. So I think Titan still has a lot to prove to us. Obviously, have the ingredients to do really well. It is a matter of finding the right play style, and I think a bit of lack of confidence on this occasion as well is coming into play as well.
So interesting enough, these guys have actually played 4 maps in PGL so far, and it's actually 2-2, and you can see a different, well, undefined. That's a new one. Is that a custom map?
Actually.
Is that one of the new ones?
I think it's supposed to say it's 2-1 to Mousesports on that one. I'm pretty sure, because that's the one where we saw Titan train in a totally different manner from that previous matchup. They played super fast, very aggressive on their T side, picking up a lot of rounds, whereas Overpass was an overtime game. I think it went something like 21-17 for Mousesports, and then Cobblestone was a pretty one-sided affair at 16-9 for Mousesports. So Mousesports ahead of in-pass encounters as well.
Well, we talked about this being the last chance, and it's going to be a high-pressure situation, the best of one, and definitely sparks going to fly. We have some very big players on the server. Let's take a look at 2 of them now, and 2 of the most interesting, I feel like. Although we talked about Nicolino having a pretty poor showing tonight, really didn't get off to a good start. You can never discount him from the matchup.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to remember your individuals are going to perform close to the way that your team is as a unit as well. His team was not playing well either, so you can't really just blame an individual too much either. But obviously a player that Mousesports needs to be very good. He plays a lot of the lurking roles, a lot of the stuff where his individual skills and the way he's able to read situations comes into play, and obviously in this matchup as well needs to be a huge player.
So Shoxy, CS Source legend, and moving in one of the new pickups for this Titan lineup coming from the MVS squad. Obviously, speaking to him in the major, he sees himself, he wants to be on that world-class stage, he wants to be performing at the big events, and unable to get into that top 8 there. Very disappointing for them, looking to prove themselves and bounce back here. But so far, it's been a bit of a damp squib, it has to be said. Unable to actually progress through the group stages, losing both their games, going straight to the lower bracket in this last chance here. Just having a look at that matchup, it's pretty equal. Looks like in terms of kills, at least Nico has got him tipped a little bit there. But definitely these 2 players are going to be pivotal, I think, on either side. Shoxy is definitely the MVP for Titan, I would say, without doubt. He's like one of the players you always think, okay, this guy is playing well tonight. They've got a chance he can just win them single-handedly.
Yeah, I feel like Titan really needs to let Shox loose and let him do whatever he wants to, pretty much. And the other 4 work as a unit. Shox is such a dominant force. He can be among the top 5 in the world in riflers and be super dominant player. So definitely you want to try and see if you can dig that out of Shoxy.
It's coming, I'm sure of it. So like we said, it's going to be a best of 1 format tonight. It's going to be a straight up veto process to work out what map we're going to play. If we were, just before we do have a look at the maps, guys, is there any map that stands out for you that we could see coming in tonight? We talked about Titan's train bouncing back and having that faster approach here, but Mousesports as well looking pretty strong on that map as well. So maybe that could be something we could see here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an early veto. I don't feel like it, but probably maybe Cobblestone is going to Titan doesn't want to play Cobblestone after how they played against Mousesports specifically. Wasn't a great showing at all, and overall I don't think they've really played that well on it with this lineup. Maybe Overpass, it was pretty back and forth between these teams. I think Dust2 is a map that could favor both teams. Mousesports is a good theme, but French teams have always been super good on Dust2, so that could be an interesting matchup. We
could wax lyrical about that all night, but let's actually have a look at the official picks and bans here. Like I said, best of one, so we're only going to be seeing one map here tonight. So what's it going to be? Slowly revealed. Dust2. I actually like this a lot. That could be really cool. Mousesports obviously got a lot of potential there. Chris J, Nex especially. This is one of the maps we've been waiting to see Nex on for the last couple of days, I think. It's one of the ones he can go absolutely ham on, especially that B bomb site. Really scary to play against there. So the AWP is going to be a huge factor as well. Chris J versus Smiths. Presumably, that's the main what we've seen from Titan. It's difficult to predict, really. Like, they seem to change their approach to the game every single time we cast them. So that's who you'd assume. Existence can pick it up as well. But Dust2, I like that. I think that's a nice way to finish it off tonight. It's going to be a fast-paced.
Yeah, again, a map that doesn't really favor either side. So Knife are not in such a huge in a huge position. It doesn't really matter which side you start. So in a best-of-1 scenario in this is cutthroat situation, I think Dust2 is a very fair map.
I feel like Dust2 as well is definitely going to be a happier map for Mousesports compared to Overpass before. I think I've casted Mousesports a lot on Dust2 over the last 6 or however many months it's been. And these guys have always had a pretty solid Dust2. Like, pretty much always towards the top level. So I feel like going back to basics a tiny bit here, as we already talked about Titan, haven't looked fantastic recently, I think it's safe to say. So I feel like this is just back to basics for Mousesports.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on, finish it.
Yeah, we were expecting actually Gamescom at IM. They got to play Dust2 against Envy, I think, and TSM. And we were expecting to have really close encounters because of how well Mousesports has usually played on Dust2. But we got disappointed sort of on that map. But obviously, Titan is not up there at this point in time. So maybe we'll see a really good Dust2 from Mousesports. Who knows?
Okay, chaps. I'm going to ask you your predictions here. Metis, I'll start with you this time. Where do you see this one going?
Yeah, I'm going to go Mousesports. I think I'm going to stick to my guns. I think Dust2 is a solid map for them. I feel like Titan have not really given me any huge confidence. I mean, at the end of the day, none of us picked any of them for our Vulcan picks.
Okay.
I think that's for a reason. So, yeah, I'll go Mouse.
Nothing quick thoughts from you?
Yeah, evidence goes towards Mousesports, definitely. Titan has been too shaky, too inconsistent, just not playing up to the standards we should be expecting them to with that lineup.
I'm going to say Titan take this, just from the form I saw Mousesports in tonight. I don't think their big players are performing. And Titan, we haven't seen them tonight. We don't know who's going to show up. I like the way they react, and they know how much is on the line here. So I'm going to go Titan.
Fair enough.
Nice, good work there, getting in just
Come
in the
on,
end. It's pretty good.
Twitch also signing with you.
Twitch is with me. They're ready.
I think we're screwed. I'm just saying.
50-50.
Twitch is always
right.
right.
So let's have a look across the board of the other predictions here. EGB, but I think it's going to be a pretty much 50-50. It's a pretty high-risk bet, I would say. It's pretty hard to predict where this one's going to be going.
Definitely.
So pretty much even there, and again, almost dead even going into that one. I don't really know how odds work, so I can't really go into that too much. I know how percentages work. That's easy to work out. So 59% in favour of Mousesports. Very, actually swaying towards them a little bit, and then more of a 50-50 kill here for HLTV, and then Twitch chat, you would assume they think Titan's going to win. Yes, there you go. So almost 60% for them. So that kind of paints the picture now. I guess we'll be almost ready to jump on the server. If you've just joined us, it's going to be Titan versus Mousesports. Here's the final game of the night. Thank you for sticking with us. It's been a fun night of CS. The last chance definitely has delivered, and some of the best of one matchups we've seen tonight. So one more to go. Let's make sure it's a good one. We've had a couple of games that have gone the distance, and one or two that have actually been a little bit of a letdown in terms of the match it turned out to be, but hopefully this is a good one to finish on.
Yeah, the first 2 matches of tonight were pretty one-sided actually, and them there and out has been a lot better. Last match obviously was pretty good, and the one where Dignitas came back against Kingwood on Mirage as well turned out to be a lot more interesting than we expected halfway through it. So, well, let's see. I'm really actually looking forward. I do want to see Titan do a lot better than they have. Like, I think they have so much more potential that they're actually displaying. But they just keep letting me down all the time. Just the way they keep crumbling and not even looking that competitive.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And at some point, Titan are going to need to step up. You know, you can't keep holding on to this solo. We're a new roster. We're trying to find our footing because Envious have, come up the block swinging. So I think maybe this is one of the moments where Titan can step up and it's such a pressure situation as well. You know, it's go big or go home. That is literally the situation these two teams find themselves in.
Well, the exciting thing is, even if they win this game, it's not over yet. There's still mammoth teams to take down going on, but definitely one of the stepping stones they need to take if they do want to get themselves at the PGL event coming in October. Now it looks like all 10 players on the server. We actually will be going straight to the knife round, just to remind people at home. Obviously, best of one. It's a random decision as to who gets the veto first, and we go into a knife round to decide the side. So like we said before, Dust2 doesn't really matter what side you start, it's whatever you prefer really. I assume I haven't actually casted Titan on this with this new live on Dust2, so I can't really comment too much as to where they're going to be going with this. I can't wait. I think this is a really nice way to close the night out. It's going to be a really explosive game. Obviously Chris J, one of the scariest AWPers scouters in the world, Scout being very effective on Dust2 especially, so that'll be fun to watch. Just coming to an end here. Come on, lads, let's get it over with.
Yep, I think Sharks is going to have this.
Yeah, there you go. Nice prediction.
Thank you.
And then, so presumably, like I said, it doesn't really matter. It's just whatever you prefer. They will be going on the CT. I'd say maybe it's slightly favoured there, but very slightly. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. So we should be going into the pistol very momentarily. Like I said, the AWP battle is always interesting on Dust2. So Occasion B doing very well for his team. TSM matchup. Kicking off the A car area, very influential. Guardian as well, stepping up in the later segments of that half. So more exciting stuff to come. The thing is about Titan is they don't really have one of those world-class AWPers, like one of those big names. You have like your Skadoodles, your Guardians, JWs, for example, NES, for example. They don't seem to have an AWP like that. They have Smiths who can be good at AWPing and assistants to pick it up, but I think they lack that killer player to kind of carry that role. But Smiths definitely is handy with it. Just not legendary status yet, I would say.
Yeah, more recent Titan on Dust2 that I can find is they played Hellraisers in SIVO just a couple of days back.
How did that go?
16-14 Titan.
Okay, interesting.
They got 7 rounds on CT and 9 rounds on T side.
Seems like both teams are ready now. We will be going into the pistol round. This is the last game of the evening. Titan will be starting on the CT side of Dust2 in a best of one. This is the lower bracket as well. The loser is out of the tournament. So let's have a look here. Mousesports starting on T. Let's have a look at their bye going into this first round. You can see God B normally is the utility player, while the rest of his team will get 4 sets of armor. That has stayed true with most of their games we've casted, actually. And you can see Nex just considering what he's going to bring to the party. And he actually will get armor as well. So there we go. 2-1-2 set up so far. The CT's actually pushing someone very aggressively up middle. That's going to be Smiths getting all the way up. Gets spotted though. This could be problematic for him. His players are coming into lower B, but that smoke will cover him as he makes his way out.
Yeah, just using that shield to get back onto Catwalk once more. Meanwhile, Shox in mid has picked off the head of Dennis and did see a second player. That would have been Chris J, who's now in lower tunnels. So good start for Titan here. Very risky play, though, as he called from Smiths. He has finally been picked up from God B. Chris J now is going to be moving through the blanks. He must know that Shox is pretty low. Shox is down to 1 HP. A gust of wind would knock him over at this point. And he's just going to be hiding there for now. And the terrorists now starting to make some moves in through long as well. So Nico is also low. So many players are just a couple shots away from death. Chris J does connect it onto RPK. However, Nico does get traded out. Chris J for another frag. So looking good here for Mousesports. You have gone for the plant. Maniac and Existence, your last 2 remaining CTs. Both of them are 1 click away from death. And this should be Mouse on the board, or will it? Existence comes in with the headshot. God B's been dropped. I don't think it's a defuse kit for the CTs. And Chris J has just landed himself the frag onto Existence. Last player remaining is Maniac. He's on 31 HP. Just 1 bullet should seal this up, and there we go. Chris J finally puts him down for his 4th frag of the round.
Yeah, though long distance and early headshots that Mousesports was able to do on the Titan players really weakened the CT defense there and making it close to impossible for Titan to win that round. But all of a sudden it came down to 101. Maniac almost getting it, but in the end this wasn't meant to be. 1-0 Mousesports.
Saw Smith pushing in the middle there. Had he got away with that and not got spotted, is just a pixel they saw on him. Potentially could have caused a lot of damage there to the T side. He did get locked down. Shox over there up a very nice kill as well. But Chris J, what can you do? 4-man from him. Very convincing stuff. And we can see the force by now coming in from Titan. So around they do fancy armor and 5.7s across the board. Apart from Existence has got that P250. But we mentioned before, Chris J with his scout can just cause so much carnage on this map. little bit of a stack here from short as well, though. It's not the weapon you want, Chris, going up against this. Maniac's going to be waiting behind the steps. He has got the back up now. Hopefully they can neutralize the situation. Some damage incurred, though.
Yeah, 2 frags for Mousesports definitely opens up A nicely for them, but they're very quick rotate coming in, I should say, for the CTs.
Mousesports players are.
Yeah, 3 are extremely low, around 20 or below HP. The sad news, though, for the CTs is they have no grenades, so it's going to have to come down to raw fragging. Bomb has been planted.
Wait. Who just planted? Why did he roast himself?
I don't know. Like, you could see it spreading and he's planted in. Like, obviously didn't do that much.
Gob, come on.
Luckily, he was one of the high HP players. But the boys now, 4-on-2 situation. When you have the armor and the 5-7, you normally know that you're not going to do much more into this round. So just trying to save that armor, especially shocks with the head armor, a big investment for him. So he wants to make sure he can take that to the next round, potentially do some damage with it. But pretty much clean round from us. Also, like we said, a lot of damage incurred, but no kills actually taken into account. But needless to say, 2 on the board for them now, looking pretty strong. Handling forced by too well. We see the last 2 players go down for Titan. They will actually survive here. So interesting. Nonetheless, GodB picking up the UMP. And I imagine he can keep that. Chris J, I wouldn't be surprised if he survives this round. He'll keep the scout going into the first gun round as well. That's typically him.
Yeah, I mean, he would probably even prefer it over an AWP a lot of the time. So not surprising in that way. But doesn't get much more cleaner than that for Mousesports to get a force buy. T-Side of Dust2, so good job from them.
You can see this interesting stack coming up from Titan. All 5 players committed to that mid to B area. The call would have been spotted as well. They didn't smoke the door, so a very fast push onto A long here, and this should be the first frag as well.
Yeah, easy for Dennis. Oh, I said easy for Dennis. I was expecting him to get that second frag. He does get traded out, but the terrorists are still picking up frags, and there is the jump shot from Chris J. The reason he loves this scout, he has been dropped, so it's likely going to be an AWP next round for him. But Maniac now has the scout in his hands instead, and he's being chased down by GodB. Meanwhile, Nico from the side is going to put Maniac out of his misery, and Mousesports take a very clean 3-0.
So, the first test is here, and a lot of the Titan players, obviously, for that second round force buy, it's going to be a bit lower on the money, so have to make a compromise here and there. They're only going to have 1 defuse kit amongst them going into the round 4.
Chris J actually opting to take the scout once again, like we said. So
shocking.
That's pretty cool, though, considering that the guys are pretty low in terms of economy, only 1 defuse kit, so definitely something he can make work. And there's going to be 2-man stack towards long there, but not much presence shown from the T side yet. And not a lot of aggression from the CT side, just holding quite passively, not too much presence towards middle. They have 1 player in terms of shocks, just anchoring that CT spawn area, trying to hold off any presence towards CT spawn, but everyone's pushing to short now.
Nico is so good with that. He's insanely good at getting that kill on long.
Yeah, you can see the impact that has on the CTs as well. Instantly, they have to just back away from long and try and bolster up their defenses on the site itself. And in doing so, you put yourself into such a tunneled off position. But somehow the CTs are still getting frags from this precarious position. And there is Dennis with the double frag, but instantly Titan answer back with 2 of their own. And Dennis with 21 HP now is all that remains for Mousesports. AK-47 in hand. That smoke is going to keep him off bay, but does catch Maniac. Trying to change his weapons, drops down, and there is Existence. Titan just about by the skin of their teeth, picking up their first round.
That was weird how Mousesports players just got stuck in that A short. Like, they should have just taken over that bomb site much quicker and spread out, but instead they were jumping on the rock.
They're getting pretty stubborn with the jump scouts, trying to make that happen for them.
That was just stupidity. But Dennis always pulling it back, getting 2 kills from CT spawn, and even the 3rd from short A, but Existence then clutching it, bringing Titan its first round.
Well, it's not over yet. You can see the money is pretty terrible for them. Definitely Mousesports having the advantage here. Chris J buying that scout does allow him to get the AWP in this round. 3 Famises for Titan. Definitely one that will break them if they don't win this one. So looking forward, they need to make sure to get this one on the board.
Yeah, the scary thing for Titan is even if they do win this, if they lose like 3 or 4 weapons, they're still absolutely screwed for next round. So there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders here in round number 5. Mousesports, after losing that previous one, have a much better armory at their disposal, but RPK does go for that peek. Chris J misses the first. No scope goes in the crosshairs of Existence, who gets 3 headshots, one after the other. I've got to question what Mousesports were doing there, just funneling themselves in. Now it's all on Nico. He answers back with 2 frags. 2 players very low. It's unlikely he'll clutch this, but it is at least possible if he can pick up this next kill. Existence trying to come through lower tunnels. Smoke is going to fend off the mid push. And he seems to think that someone's coming up round from behind. But that bomb is in such a bad position as well. So if Titan just camp this from multiple angles, the round is theirs.
Yeah. There's no way Nico's going to be able to pick this one up here. Unless they do this and just give themselves to Nico. Makes it a 2-on-1.
He could potentially put even more economic damage on CT. As I said before, they need to win this clean.
They know now. They know the time is too low for them to even plant. So this is a good decision from them. Fall back. Don't give them enough of an opportunity to get it killed. They probably should have done that a little bit earlier, but now they are learning their lesson. It's going to be a CT waiting an upper beat. I think he'll just be trying to get out of there with the very low HP he's got.
That was an existence show. That was, what, 3 kills there from
I don't know how that happened.
I think they lined up. I think they were lined up pretty perfectly for him. Yep, there we go. Just a spray down and all the stars aligned once again.
But they're still
pretty lucky.
They're still grinding away at this CT money. You can see them buying in once again. AKs, Techlands and Scan actually like this. Keep the pressure on the CTs. Don't allow them to actually get comfortable. So 2 of them going into lower B this time, though. You're actually not going to find anything, as all the Ts are top of mid right now.
Yep. Bad thing for Mousesports, so they have no idea this is happening, right?
Pushing in through Short. And then maybe try and use that scout to its strongest effect. But here comes Shock's very aggressive play through lower tunnels. Gonna try and catch the terrorists in transition through Short. Oh, and there is the scout out of play. RPK pushes it. There's 2 of them there. Are the terrorists gonna try and full on engage back on towards Titan? The answer is yes for now. RPK gets dropped. Shox is still there. They have no idea where he is. If he just plays his cards right here and is patient, he could potentially jump up on top of the Xbox and get around the back of them, honestly.
Play a T-spawn as well. They've actually got what's locked in here. They need to be careful.
Oh, he has pushed in, and Next just turns around and takes him down. Are they going to expect existence there as well? They do. God B comes round and next level calls from him. Dennis lands the headshot onto Maniac. And Titan, honestly, from their positions, I thought this round was theirs. But suddenly, it's a 1-on-3. It was a 1-on-4. Smith lands the first shot. The bomb is on its way to B, and it will be planted in the next few moments.
What a different round it could have been.
Absolutely.
If Existence would have just walked like 2 meters further, he would have spotted that guy on those boxes ready to smoke or flash long. And then that would have made a whole difference of that round. Instead, he does not, and it all crumbles when Next gets that pick on Shox, and then Copy gets that pick on Existence.
We talk about the smallest little variables actually affecting the outcome of the round, and there was a perfect push from Titan. They had such good positional control, just some really minor details, the timing of some of the faces not working out for them. But now, Godby leading the charge on this long push is going to be an eco from the CTs here. He actually spots one, doesn't manage to convert it to a kill though. Smith takes him down, but Dennis replies.
Smith's USP trumped the AK-47. That has got to be frustrating for Godby. It still should be a clear-cut round, but you can see the stack on A right now from the CTs. Looking good for them. AK-47. He's going to rip them to shreds, though. Last 2 players are both in the smoke, pushing onto long. But here comes the, well, the resounding shutdown from Mousesports. 5-2. As expected, though, that was an eco round.
The worst thing about those small variables, they're probably going to be forcing Titan to double eco here.
Well, yeah. 2 players can comfortably buy. The other 2 guys, like Existence, can't even really justify anything, really. So I think they're making the right decision there. I actually like that from Smith. He can afford a scout and still have an AWP next round. So Dust2, we talked about this one being one of the maps a scout definitely favours. But Terrorists now just going to go pick up a B tunnel, see if they can get an early phase. They can hear the scout going off, so they can probably assume this is going to be the round, and Nico opens things up to the Maniac there.
Yeah, Nico had such a poor first map this evening on Overpass. He's already 13 before a score like that, so he's really stepped it up at multiple notches. And Mousesports are, as a whole, bouncing back. Well, look at this, though, from Titan. They are making a real go of this round. 2-on-2. Smiths is starting to wake up there. He's got the scout in his hands. Nico needs to be careful. He's trying to tap across. Maybe the confidence will get the better of him here. He is challenging long range, and he is going to get both of them. Very well played by him. 3 frags in total. This guy's finally shown up today.
Yeah, it's been interesting showing. He talked about how strong he can be in that long A area. Somehow finds kills every single round in every situation. He's going to put himself into 15 kills now. I like these last 2 kills at the end. He didn't favour his situation for the scout might take him down, but now we have the double AWP setup from the CTs. This is one of my favourite setup on Dust2 especially, and I think it's where you can be the most strong as you possibly can be. CT showing quite a lot of aggression towards middle there. Smith's just going through that double doors there. May find the kill, but actually gets taken down by Chris J. That's a huge first pick here, and the advantage once again going in the favour of Mouse.
Yeah, Shox is just chilling out on short right now in the smoke, so he's hoping to try and get a return frag, but B is there. It just seems like Titan seem caught in two minds. Like, they're peeking and at the same time playing super passive, so in doing so, you're just giving away free kills. And now RPK has answered back 4-2 though. Maniac's there on long. He's looking for a second frag. He has picked it up. Chris J misses the return frag, but he at least knows where he is, so Next finishes him off. Very unlucky for Maniac. Nice attempt though to clutch this round, and now it's all on that man RPK. Can he pull this off? Chris J's or probably will shut him down, I'd imagine, after this bomb plant, if Next doesn't do it beforehand. And there we go. Next, with the M4, takes it to 7-2.
Yeah, I was going to say, at one point, once upon a time, RPK was the best player on the planet in CS Source. Still unable to find that magic, I think, into CSGO. Very big task to retake onto the bomb site. And we go into round number 10. Another eco for Titan. This is looking a little bit scary for them now. Chris J, once again with the AWP. We haven't seen much bought from Titan here. P250s in hand. But just trying to bait out the orb shot in middle, you can see. I don't think it's going to come to much. We do get past when Nico's up once again. Down that long area, we talked about it so much. Takes down Smiths there.
Yeah, just walk in, you can see
Terminator mode. Man. Good lord.
One taps all across the board.
The difference in his movement and decision making when he has confidence as well is just astronomical. I've seen him on an overpass where he's just a shell of his normal self. And here we go. This is the Nico that we all know and love. RPK, nothing you can do from there with a P250. And Mousesports already romp to 8-2.
Exactly. This is going to danger zone. Really fast here. Mousesports is really showing it out for Titan.
Well, now they do buy back into this. No double AWP this time. You see Chris J's got a very nice spawn for long, and the AWP in hand as well. You normally would see players take the opportunity here to have a face along, and it seems like Chris J won't be taking that actually. He's going to go back towards mid. I assumed he would be. Why not? When you have this sort of momentum, it's normally a favoured play to do, but 3 CTs now going towards long to start, trying to lock down the area, but again he picks up another frag. How is he doing this every time?
Out of nowhere as well. He didn't see anyone. There was a smoke. He spams and 100 HP gone from Smiths.
Every single round, it seems like.
How frustrating is that going to be?
When it's your game, it's your game. And Titan, how do you deal with this right now? Every time they even attempt to hold down long, Nico is there by himself, Rambo mode, just getting frags.
All right, bomb is going up on the side as well with Chris J. See what happens
with the AWP. If he can land this shot onto Shox, this is going to be a bomb plant. It's a nice flashbang from the CTs, and there is Shox to pounce on top of it. The bomb was planted. Shox gets the second frag. Here comes Next, though, from short. It's really going to come down to him. I've got to feel he's got the angle to pull this off. Nico's been flashed out multiple times, but Next has been picked off. Now, Nico, now is your time to shine, if ever. There's the second frag. He's looking for a third, but the bomb is being defused, and it's not going to happen. Anticlimactic end, but a nice attempt nonetheless.
I was feeling it. I thought he might have.
Me too.
How is he going to win that when the bomb is planned for short?
Yeah.
Never from that angle unless he's doing like a half. He's going to jump halfway through long and hit a mid-air shot through those boxes, but. Yeah, I don't see that happening there, but Mousesports still keeping Titan really honest when it comes to economy. That could be a problem here. Could be forcing Titan here. If Mousesports pick this round up, I think it's going to be good night Titan.
Yeah, I think you're right. Shoxy having to step up absolutely massive there, and really solid defense from him. That's why we talk about him being one of the best players on the planet.
21-4 is Nico right now after 11 rounds of play.
Oh my god, how is he doing this every time?
Insane. It must be so demoralizing.
I don't know how many times Mitch has died to him as well. He's sitting at 3-1-12.
He had the AWP as well. So that's going to be really frustrating. The morale for him must be an all-time low for that.
Mousesports just... This is why it's so frustrating when they're playing overpass. You know, we're getting a bit... At least I was getting a bit sad for them, because it's like we know what they're capable of doing. This is more like it from their perspective. This is why I fancied them on Dust2, because it's back to basics. It's back to what they're so strong on. Chris J, though, down to 10. Nico looking for that second frag right now, and he has tagged up Maniac incredibly low. There's the Tech 9 through the smoke. And meanwhile, it's all on Mouse to just push onto this site and try and claim it once more for themselves. Shox caught between a rock and a hard place. He gets shut down from God Beat. And Existence now in a 1v3.
That nightmare scenario.
Oh, this is
about
literally
to happen.
$1,400 coming in next round. Their money wasn't great to start with. Just going to have a quick look at the scoreboard now. So it's only the Existence of any cash available, really. So you can only predict pretty much full eco going into this round. Existence, I'd say you want to save this one. Just give your team a little boost next round.
There's 2 ways to go about this. You either just double save or you force the next one and then hope for the best. And then if you lose, you save the one following that. And you're still going to be in a pretty dire situation when it comes to money.
There's no...
But you're 9-3 down, so that's when risk-taking actually comes into picture and makes sense.
if you want to win, I'd say use Force Buy in this situation.
Yeah, buy this one.
I think they have to. He's picked up the AWP as well, which is good.
They will buy it.
That's solidified, I think. He can drop an M4. And PGL can get into this, and there we go. Yeah, so the buy comes in. I definitely think this is the right decision.
Yep.
The chips are down. Don't want to go down 10-3 so early on. So let's see what they can do. AWP is bought. Existence keeping it this time. Not going to give it to Smiths. He's going to have a little go himself. And maybe he'll just be anchoring the B bomb site and just start holding that position off. But it seems like he's got something up his sleeve here. Doing a little tactical smoke in mid, and will be facing through as well. He's got a little gap there. This could work out pretty well for him. Oh, not. Could go horribly wrong.
You jinxed it, I think.
Who needs smokes? Get absolutely wrecked, Dennis. On Dennis, I should say, onto Existence, but there we go. The frag's coming back in the hands. I completely agree as well. I think this force buy was absolutely required if they want to win. Like, it's likely if they lose this anyway, it's probably GG, but at least they went down swinging, right? They went down fighting.
Oh, yeah. When you're down that much, you have to take those kind of risks. It makes sense.
Although they're not quite out of this round just yet, you know, they have pulled back a couple frags, and there comes Maniac, and God B next maybe having a couple words with him saying, mate, where's the cover? He just ran straight through window and picked me off. Smith, though, with the 5-7, is going to take down God B. Now it's all on Dennis. This is a winnable round. The only downside, though, for the CTs,
there it is.
I was about to say, is a lack of utility, but they have 2 AWPs, and that is going to be their 4th round. So the force buy, the ballsy play pays off for them.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bit of a back and forth situation, and it just all came down to aim duels basically. But there we go, Titan picking that one up with Smiths taking the last kill.
Absolutely. So we talked about it. Something required that they were going to have any chance of winning this game. It pays off. They even Existence getting taken down so early on in the round by Dennis there. But the double AWP set up rings true once again. And this time they're being a little bit more dynamic with it. Instead of allowing themselves to get picked off, Shoxy's going to get boosted up. And actually decides against it. They decide to go back towards A. So last minute change of plan. But now then. T's just feeding out the map. Not going to show too much presence yet. We can see Nico heading back to his area of contention, and finally they find the kill through the smoke and get a little bit of luck. Maniac has got a sigh of relief there, I feel like, and then Smith takes down Dennis as well. So a round you do favour, hopefully towards Titan now.
Oh, there's Chris J. Can never count him out. There's the first one, looking for the second, nearly lands it. Oh, how is that play? How is Smith still alive? He had an AK rattling off at him and an AWP shot narrowly missing. And somehow Titan win that, just losing one player. That was very strange.
Yeah, but right now Titan's actually giving themselves a lifeline here. Mousesports going into this last round with a little crippled economy. As you can see here, one Nico with a deagle. Well, never count him up though. And Galil for Dennis.
I'd say give him the AK. The way he's playing tonight, lights out for him. Like,
yeah,
God B, 5 kills. Give your AK to Nico, son.
Exactly.
Like, he's the one feeling it. He's got the Woosar tonight. But let's see what goes on. Aggressive play from the CT again. Just going to be Shox going straight up there. Questionable decision. No backup. Does manage to make it an even trade, but I don't really like that play from him. That's a last-minute attempt to change the output of the round, and actually gives the advantage back to Mousesports there.
I agree, especially when you're starting to bounce back on this half as well. When you're starting to get rounds together, that seems like a very odd play. Like, yes, you get a 1-for-1 trade, but that favors a terrorist. Like, terrorists are going to take that. That being said, though, Smiths has landed the AWP. Looking for that second shot. He gets traded out with RPK and 11 HP. This is extremely good from Mousesports' perspective. Well, Nico's been tagged down as well. And again, that bomb residing in Catwalk. But there is next with the opening pick onto Maniac. RPK on 11 HP. There's no grenades or molotovs that are going to be flying his way. So if he just hides behind this, he's got a chance at maybe clutching this round. They line up for the first frag. Has been taken down, but he doesn't get the second one. And now Existence is another clutch scenario. And he's only got a 5-7 to play with, and he has to go for this. In fact, he's got an AWP as well.
Doesn't make things much easier in the context of this clutch, to be honest.
In a crossfire scenario, it really doesn't help.
It's close to impossible. If Mouse throws this round, then maybe if they just go and aim at him, but otherwise, no way.
As soon as he pops out there, he should be picked off. There we go. Nico puts him down and finishes. I think he's nearly on for a 30 bomb in the first
25,
half.
I think.
26,
26.
3 and 6.
That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, day and night compared to his first map performance.
Shoxy's not keeping up, is he?
Well, we think about the one round he had on the bomb side, the 4 kills. That actually contributed to
yeah, that's true.
Fair enough. His kills there, so that's kind of interesting. But now then, 10-5. Titan definitely getting himself back into that force buy. We talked about that being the lifeline, and what a lifeline it was. Actually gives them some sort of chance there. Going into the second half, a pistol, I'd say they definitely want to get into.
Oh yeah, this pistol's probably everything, I'd say, for Titan to an extent.
Let's see how it goes down. We can see the buy there. 2 sets of utility for them. Actually getting some control out along as well. Frags coming in. Nico keeps the pressure on, takes down Smiths there to open things up.
Chris J down to 2. Still some utility to play with from Titan. And look at this, Shock's actually just running out in mid by himself. And does live to tell the story to the rest of his team. Bombs thrown up onto Catwalk. You can see there is a player just hiding out on the side. However, Chris J's been dropped, and it was Nico. Nico goes in for more. He misses a bunch of shots there. That could prove to be costly for Mousesports. Meanwhile, Godby's trying to hold the site by his lonesome. Nex is down towards CT spawn. He's waiting for his teammate to come in, but the terrorists are just taking Mouse to pieces one at a time. Dennis is on full HP, though, and he's pushing through this smoke. Can he connect the first shot? He does, but it's not enough to take down Existence, who uses that Glock to devastatingly strong effect. And Titan get that all-important second pistol.
What a back-and-forth round, though. It seemed like there was no real plan from Titan. They were just waiting for what Mousesports was going to throw at them. And then eventually going up on Catwalk and, yep, went into a 2-on-1. Titan prevails. Giving themselves another chance here, 6-10 scoreline.
Absolutely, but we see Mousesports buying back into this as a scout. We kept talking about Chris J's going to have that in hand and armor as well. And looks like the T's maybe favouring the B side of the map here. 3 players in upper B. And they've actually spotted Dennis, but he finds a kill out of nowhere. Existence answers back, and now they will be making their way into the bomb site.
The pop flash. Chris J goes for the peek afterwards. They know exactly where the CTs are. It's pretty obvious spots there. But it's still to execute the strat. Still well played from Titan. Bomb will be planted. And Titan are right back in this game again. Still 3 rounds will be trailing after this, but still, considering where they were just like 5 minutes ago, this is such a huge improvement.
Oh, yeah. What was the scoreline at the point? 9-3, and we were discussing what they should be doing. And sitting at this situation right now is a whole lot better than what they were at that point. Yeah. So definitely, it's going to come to that first weapon round, and how they're really going to be playing that T side. Also, what kind of a curveball are Mousesports going to be throwing at Titan? This question.
This was a big obstacle for them this round, and Mousesports will be buying into it. They've overcome it this time. Take a lot of damage there towards the end. 3 players do get taken down, but in the grand scheme of things, you have to assume Mousesports won't be silly to actually, or silly enough to buy into this one. They maybe get a couple of P250s on the board, but that would be about it. Decent spawn for Titan there as well. 1 player shocks on the Mac 10, the recon player, and he's got a decent spawn as well, so he probably will take that with the Mac 10. And you get that kind of spawn, you will just run out long. And maybe one of his teammates is flashing him in. He's just going to want to cause carnage here. And he won't actually find anyone. So he's got a lot of info here. Existence opens up to Godby. Next does reply, though. 4-on-4, neutralizing the situation, but no one's on A. The T's will make all their way on very cleanly into the site, yeah.
That dink was pretty ridiculous onto Existence. And here comes Shocks with the Mac 10. And Maniac from the back as well. Very little that CTs can do to stop this push. Then again, it's a Nico. You're expecting it to be a clean sweep from Titan. And they do just that, 8-10, 2 rounds behind, and Titan are making a real go at this. But here we go. Here come the M4s on the side of Mousesports.
Well then, obviously, we talked about this round. It's all going to come down to this. And that 4 spy, of course, doesn't mean they will have an AWP here on the Mousesports side. 5 rifles for them, and this is a weakness for them in a lot of situations. So, Chris J not going to be that explosive presence we normally see from him.
Playing tight on the double doors, waiting for the potential push coming in. Titan have completely taken over long here, just off the back of a Molotov and a smoke. And here comes the aggressive push, and again they're making so much ground. It's going to be Chris J, the only player to really do anything this round for the CTs. And his teammate has just been picked off. There is Dennis as well. Bomb's been planted. No defuse kit on Mousesports, and a pretty low economy may suggest to them about potentially saving, but it looks like the fact they got flashbangs could bait them into potentially going for this one. It's all down really to Dennis getting this next pick, otherwise it's all gone. And I don't know, guys, what do you reckon? Would you favour them to just save the M4s?
I mean, well, it was a 2-on-3. If you get that kill early on, then it's a viable situation. If the clock goes winding down and you don't get any kills, yeah, you may say. But Titan with a great ace split there. Really sandwiching Mousesports' defense very well and making it super hard to play.
You don't have the AWP on the bomb site actually anchoring that position and making sure he can be the turret on the site. It's very difficult to hold off those splits, especially when you're up against the AKs. And as I say that, The fragging continues here. Long 8. Maniac picking up God B. Nico does reply once again, but it's going to be a 4-on-3 now. 3 players remaining for Mousesports, and Dennis should be taken down here, but Shock's not looking. Does actually look back in time, so 4-on-2 now.
I think another issue maybe for Mousesports coming up is really the only guy who's fragging exceptionally well is Nico, and I feel it's much easier to get some guy who's just on fire to get loads of entry frags and then jump on top of that. When you're CT side though, unless he's like holding down a position by himself, it's easy enough for Titan to burst onto a site, and then retaking that site's a lot harder for Nico.
Well,
so I'm a bit worried.
This is the first real gun round in my opinion. Chris J finally has an AWP. They have decent money in terms of utility. They have incendiary grenades, but all the terrorists have AKs on the AWP as well. So this is where it gets interesting. Everything's reset, 10-10. So the game now really coming into its own. Let's see how the first frag goes down. Shock's going straight into B as well. Very aggressive play.
Look at this push through mid as well. It's like straight up mid. It hasn't worked for them. No smokes, no flashes, nothing. And Mouse, with 3 kills in a heartbeat, just completely shut down this round for Titan.
It's like these weird envious moments we see all of a sudden. It's like I feel it's the Shoxy factor. He's gonna be calling those. Now we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna run into B like it's the best warrior in the world. I'm gonna destroy them.
I've got the B spawn. You know I'm taking it.
I'm gonna go for it.
And then he gets wrecked.
That's the thing. Like B rush is definitely a viable. This thing you chuck into the mix when you think the CTs are adapting to you, but by yourself, it's not really a thing. Like, if you just go down without doing anything whatsoever, and the CTs just kill you, it's a okay, guys, that really hasn't worked out. And now it's a 5-on-2. Existence kind of justify going for this considering the amount of rounds they've won, but it should be taken care of. As I say that though, Mina gets 1 kill, but next brings it down. So Mousesports bouncing back.
When you see those kind of rounds before, they've done like excellent A split where they've had a lot of synergy and how they sandwich that A side, and then you see this kind of a mess of a round. It's just mind-blowing. Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, seriously?
It's the Hail Mary play, I guess. They're trying to do something very fast, unorthodox, unpredictable, and unfortunately not going in their favour whatsoever. Chris J now going towards long with the AWP. We may actually have a kill here. Gets flashed, has to fall back, but one of the T's is out there. But he should get taken care of considering he's by himself now. There it is.
Oh my goodness. Again, the flashes come in for shots, but he can't get the frag, and yeah, just kind of going out by his lonesome, one-man army mode. Chris J at the back of the site is going to put down Smiths with ease. There is a terrorist pushing onto that site, however, although the flashbangs are coming in thick and fast.
Ooh.
And somehow Chris J doesn't get
Why would
the
he
kill.
do that? This fullback, dude.
Oh my goodness. I don't even, at this point, what spray control from Dennis. That was beautiful. And now Existence, the guy who got the better of Chris J somehow on the site, is the last player, but not for long. 12-10.
Yeah, there we saw that A split isn't as effective when you don't win that first duel on A long. And then yeah, a lot of funny moments there with Chris J in Existence, but eventually Mousesports coming out on top.
This is really crisp from
yeah,
Dennis.
this is very nice spray control by Dennis.
That is beautiful.
That has to be pointed out, really. But now, hiding in a situation where they've invested all their money, so it is a pretty huge round here.
Yep, Mousesports finally having the opportunity to break the economy, but Smiths does take down the linchpin of the CT setup, Chris J, and the AWP in middle. So they have the advantage here now. CTs obviously have to react. You can't allow the terrorists to have a full execution. You need to find positional advantage elsewhere. So I would imagine they're going to be pushing B tunnels, and that's exactly what's happening right now. You can see Dennis there trying to get some control. And they're smoking off the steps as well, so that's actually pretty clever from him. I like this.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head as well. Chris J really is a linchpin from Mousesports on the CT side. We often see him getting a couple picks in mid, then transitioning to the back of A and holding down Catwalk. And the fact he's dead now forces someone else to come into mid. And now, again, you've got this super aggressive push all the way up through CT spawn. And he's going to try and get around the back of the terrorists. We've seen this a couple times.
Come on, Dennis.
You can do it.
Don't choke like this is it.
We believe.
He's jokes, he's jokes.
Oh,
It was a good chance, but next balances it, but
Nex is doing the damage now on 19 HP. At least I guess he keeps the terrorists caught in 2 minds. Like, they can no longer just all push looking towards mid. They have to have an eye on their back. And there's Maniac. Nico answers back in kind. Existence chimes in as well. It's all on Existence now for Titan in a 1v2. He's up against God B and Dennis. Dennis is down to 35. He's going to have a general idea of where Dennis is coming from because he was the assailant from the back. 36, pardon me. The bomb's been planted meanwhile, though. And now God B is jumping up. He's trying to rabbit his way to a kill, and he's not able to do that, but Dennis does get the return frag. Important to get that crossfire down, and there we go. Will be a defuse.
A lot of weird moments there, but next, getting those 2 picks was huge, obviously. Then Dennis from T-Spawn getting those picks to tunnels. Existence trying to clutch it in a 1-on-2, but Dennis coming into the clutch in the end.
They're forcing this round. I thought that was the one that broke them. Obviously getting the bomb helped them a little bit, but
yeah,
they're going to have 2 players at least, surely, on pistols here. So that's going to be Smiths and RPK. Tech-9's armored. So they've got a decent amount of equipment here, so I would say this is another viable force buy, definitely. So they're going to try with that long push as well. This could come down to this round. It defines the game.
Especially when you consider the Mousesports economy is fantastic as well. Here comes the A split, but again, it's going to be back and forth between the 2 teams. Nico's back on Agent B spot on the car. Oh, we've seen him do so much damage, and now it's Chris J is caught in so many different positions. There's nothing he can really do from there. As soon as long drops, he falls down, and the bomb's been thrown across now, so the bomb plank can come in for the terrorists. And Titan again, maybe potentially just sneaking away with the round with a force buy. With a couple Tech-9s. Flashbang is going to stop the CT push dead in its track, but there is a counter flash in from the CTs in existence again. The turret picks up frags.
Don't like pointing fingers, but Chris J just whiffed a lot of shots there on a ramp. People, if he could have landed those, which he usually does, it could have been a lot easier for Mousesports, but obviously not picking up those kills, getting sandwiched, and look at this.
Boom.
Oh, wow.
We talk about that round being really important for Titan, but actually look what it's done to Mousesports. Completely broken them here. No, even a scout. That's rare to see from them. And once again, though, the T's going for this B rush. It's going to be short to leave that charge and actually makes the kill this time. Doesn't get taken down. He takes down next, but a flurry of frags coming in. Dennis managed to get one, but it should be all but tied up. Now it's just going to be God B remaining on that short A area. And let's see, he's waiting for him now. Won't be able to do it with this. 12-13 now. Titans still in this, fighting away, scrapping almost. As we see, going into this round, the money's still not stabilised with the CTs. They probably could have done a double here. Chris J not being able to get the AWP. We'll have to get an M4.
32 frags for Nico, and his team's only 1 round ahead.
I'm glad he has stepped up now. He's in my team, so and he's my shot caller as well, I think. So glad he's finally arrived.
I picked Guardian. Why do you do it to me, Guardian? Max 7 though on next. And he's just going to have a quick cheeky peek out mid and does dink existence, I think, down to 46. Kind of lucky that he didn't get fragged that. And here comes Shox. He's pushed in so aggressively. It was completely left open B side. And does execute Dennis on the entry. Chris J answering back. And Titan have pretty much complete control of the B side. They're just waiting for the bomb carrier to come in, which is Smith's. Meanwhile, Existence back at the T-spawn is trying to keep the CTs from rotating quicker. God B needs this frag. This is a pretty crucial frag, and he hasn't got it, which allows Existence now to come through into lower tunnels and just boss that area. And that funnels Mouse in through the 2 entrances onto the B side. Chris J has answered back, but he's so low on HP. Sorry, Nex is so low on HP on just 1. So, it's, yeah, this is the smart play, I think, is to try and save. The question is, can they save these weapons?
It's in a great position.
Oh. That's Nex dropping down, so it's all on Chris J now. Can he save this M4? This could be crucial because they did go for that force buy.
And all of a sudden, Titan is on the driver's seat of this match.
Absolutely. This is the game we wanted and the game we deserved. Last one of the evening, going to 13-13. It really will go the distance. I wouldn't be surprised when it went to overtime. And once again, Titan, like you said, in the driving seat here. The money also devastated for Mousesports here. They can only justify a few P250s. We've seen Shox just rushing into B now the last few rounds. He's getting away with it. He's got a decent spawn once again. Does he have the audacity to just do it one more time? Not this one. Actually going to show some discipline there. And the CT's actually waiting for it as well. 3 of them waiting in the B-bomb site. So good decision by him to just bail out of that one last minute.
Yeah, I think that's smart as well, not to get too predictable, you know, not to play that hand too much. But strangely enough, in this round, you know, if they rush in, the P250s could have, like, absolutely ripped Titan to shreds. So I'm liking the play from Titan, like, calling the situation well, calling the economic struggles of Mousesports and reacting accordingly.
Yeah, unfortunately for Mousesports, and Nico's been cooling down here on CT side, picking up 26 kills on T side, but only 6 so far on the CT.
You can see Godby's trying to hold on for dear life for the rest of his team, and this could be the first time. I'm not entirely sure about this statistic, but I feel this is the first time Titan have been in the lead since maybe the start of the match.
Quite possibly, yeah.
I think now we are starting to see them edge ahead, because it was, what, 9-3 I think they were trailing at one point?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Mousesports still on the back foot in terms of the money here. Shoxy Has got that long spawn, but it looks like he'll be going down suicide. Maybe something very fast from him again, but he's getting straight up short. I do like this when teams do this. Gives you very good early control here. And he's actually just going to be looking for that push from the CTs there. No real advancements made from the CTs. Actually going to be holding back. Chris J, like we said, the linchpin of the team, going to be boosted up on short, just watching for that first frag and seeing whether he can take down an early shot there. But it looks like the T's actually going to be heading towards middle. And actually going for the mid split here, but most of the players, well, they'll play down long as well. You'd assume they're going to go up short.
Just Molly in just behind the stairs to make sure no sneaky CTs. Just be holding that angle. Chris J dropping down. Really not comfortable in that position. And Titan really trying to play the mental game here on Mousesports, just keeping them guessing, hoping maybe that they're going to use that utility because they realize this buy is probably fairly light. And you can see already, there's very little utility left on Mousesports, just a couple of flashes and a smoke, but maybe that's all they need. Chris J with the AWP breaks the deadlock with about 45 seconds to go. The first casualty is going to be Existence. Second casualty could very well have been RPK, but he answers back. Chris J misses that shot, and that could be absolutely crucial, not just to this round, but the entire map from Titan. Nex is trying to hold his position now on CT, gets 2 frags, looking for a third. Very nearly connects the dots, but it's all on Shox now. 22 seconds. He's yet to plant the bomb. And Dennis and Nex, 2 players that have been performing well on top of Nico, are there, and there we go. The exchange of frags goes the way of Mouse.
I think that was a definition of back and forth round, right? Like, there's no other way to define one. But a slower ace but approach from Titan there. But as said, a lot of back and forth kills going on here, as we can see Smits and RPK really opening that up. But then, I think it was Nex that happened.
Yes, yeah, right. Nex was amazing that round. You can see the economy here, though, from Mousesports. Really, really poor buy.
Yep. And obviously, around they have to win really well. If they lose this one, they are knocking on their store there because they'll have absolutely no money. I see a lot of heavy presence towards those B tunnels. We've seen Shoxy favouring this area. Pop flash coming through. It's the all in play. And what's going to happen? Dennis opens it up. Next gets one himself. And all of a sudden, Titan come to life. RPK with 2 huge frags. They're making it a 3-on-3.
How is that even possible? Maniac spots a player, but look at all the 3 Titan players. They're very, very low themselves. No grenades, no Molotovs from Mousesports, and that bomb's been planted. That's going to make this retake that much harder. Oh my goodness, how does RP... I'd love to see that on a replay, just how RPK pulled that off. But here we go, the CTs that keep it in the present. They are trying to retake this site. Shox misses the shot there. Oh, and there's Chris J with the scout. He's looking for a second. He lands it as well to Shox. And there we go. Mousesports somehow salvage the round.
Yeah, Titan players were pretty low on HP in that one. And Chris J obviously capitalizing with his jumping scout because he is just insane with that thing. And basically saving it for Mousesports. But Titan still has the money to buy on this one. They're going to be going with full.
There we go.
Yeah, this RPK
sort
of lucky there, but I think Dennis, he should have just either fell back to the other side of the box or just stayed up on that box instead of doing that.
This shows how much Shox has came back, by the way, because it looked really poor the last time we saw this graph.
He had 10 frags after first half, right? So.
And Nico had like 26 or something.
Pretty sure we're going to overtime.
Always called it.
Got a feeling too.
I'd love it too. It's been a fantastic game.
They tried to get that heavy presence towards B again, but not going to go through it this time. They're going out middle, so the B split looking likely.
Chris J.
Oh, he's been caught out of position here. Mid is being taken, but Nico again steps back up to the plate. There's Dennis, and he's waiting. He's waiting, and he's picked up the frag. And Mousesports will take it 16-14. We saved the best game to last.
Absolutely.
I mean, how fitting it is that Nico was the one that got the clinching frags there, pretty much, of denying that B split in the end. Obviously, he is probably going to be the MVP of that match, at least statistically. So, wow, what a match, 16-14.
What a time for him to finally get some kills in the second half. Obviously, a very explosive first half. We saw was it 26 kills, and then somehow goes very quiet in the CT half, but the rounds that really count, the ones that won him the game, he gets 2 there in the mid situation. So really back and forth game. I think that's the headline there. No one really taking the lead at any stage. And let's have a look at the scoreboard. Let's see whether that tells us who was carrying, perhaps statistically speaking. But RPK, I felt like he actually had a decent game towards the end there as well. But there we go. Nico, 34 kills, finding that form once again. So congratulations, you picked him tonight. He actually has found his form once again. Dennis and Nex as well. Nex had a pretty cool game towards the end as well. He was finding some decent frags.
The worrying thing there for Titan is Smiths, they're all put on a map like Dust2, bottom fragged. Dust2's a map where you're expecting the AWPer to
This is why I'm talking about the AWP on Titan. Is they don't have that world-class sniper. So Smiths can do it. He's pretty handy with it, but he's definitely no Guardian. He's not a Kenny S. He's not JW or a Skadoodle, for example. He can do it, but it's not that level quite yet. And that's a problem for Titan. So we'll have a look at the heat map as well. Let's see whether that paints a picture as to what may have gone down. So just to remind you guys, the colours are just a representative of the teams. This is actually analysis of both T sides.
That's one killing B.
So they favour those A splits very heavily. Going towards mid, they actually got some mid control, but actually not going towards B bomb side whatsoever. Titan loving that B rush as well, so they got a lot of kills towards B, but ultimately most of the action going on towards A. That's pretty standard on Dust2. B's always the backup option or the mid split. And interesting game, but
it also paints a picture. Maybe there's more aggression from Titan's CT side, considering how much lighter that up middle is from Mousesports' standpoint.
So we said he had a very quiet game earlier on Overpass, but he steps back as our MVP tonight. It is, of course, this man right here, Nico. 34 kills with him. Another stellar performance tonight. He's really got into his own, come into his own since he came back in this Mousesports lineup. Really have had some amazing performances in the last couple of nights. Like we said, quiet game on Overpass versus Navi, but tonight this evening is actually one of the reasons that actually got so many rounds on T, working that long door area and really doing amazing work there. So hats off to him, keeps his team in the tournament tonight. Let's have a look how that affects the bracket now. We're just going to jump onto that. It's been a long night of games today, but what a night it has been. So there we go then. Navi versus TSM. TSM winning that battle, and Kingwin versus Mousesports. Oh, what a game. What game's coming up. Titan are going to be knocked out now. That is a shame. It's someone who hasn't actually done very well in this tournament so far.
So we start off with Kingwin versus Mousesports. That's going to be 18 CEST tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So do not go anywhere. Well, go away tonight. Go sleep tonight. Don't sit here waiting for it. That would be a horrible idea.
Yeah.
Make sure you come back tomorrow. We come back straight away. It's not the end of this last chance group stage just yet. But, guys, we are going to look at the Vulcan shortly. But
oh God,
have you
best part of the day.
Have you enjoyed yourself tonight? Have you enjoyed the games we've had?
I think it's been getting better and better as tonight has gone along. Obviously, the first couple of matches were pretty boring.
I think that's fair. Like, consider although it's quite cool to watch a team being so good at one side of the map, it's not the greatest spectator experience.
Exactly,
it's definitely trying to build the hype as casters. Our job comes a little bit harder because it's not that entertaining to watch. It's great seeing individual skill at that level, but definitely that game we just casted there is a lot more exciting. You don't know where it's going, and I kind of wish it to get to overtimes. I thought it might do, but
I mean, looking at that and Titans particularly, there's like two different ends to it. You saw some really nice rounds like the eight splits they were doing, and then like we pointed out, some real weird rounds where they just run everywhere. Shoxy running B and people just running middle and going long. This chaos, it just doesn't make any sense. You're just looking at it, you're like, wow, where did this just come from? So, yeah, Titans, still a lot of work to do.
Yes.
They obviously took Mousesports to the limit. 14-16 is nothing to be ashamed of, but Mousesports, they get to take their chance tomorrow against Kingwin.
And the sad thing as well for Titan there is they only lose by 2 rounds. So if they cut back on a couple of those all-out rushes where they get caught, they could win that game.
Right.
You know, they could have actually taken it 16-14. So that's the really sad part for them.
Now the metas. I've got a special treat for you now. You haven't experienced this yet. It's going to be the Vulcan results.
Yes.
I'm sure
I don't want to check
it's our special guest. You're going to enjoy yourself here. So it's normally me first. You're probably going to see me 4 out of 4. 3 out of 4, not last tonight. Whoa.
That's a
first.
That's different.
So,
that's going to be me.
I've got the 3 out of 4 position there. We can see 645 points. And it's normally Matt second, so I'd assume it's going to be you, Metas, coming up. Let's see how you did, son. And last place, unfortunately.
Yes.
Thanks for trying, though. No prizes for last.
It's again going to be me against the production.
Yes.
And Twitch.
So, we come
as always.
The master of Vulcan is Natu.
Oh,
he does it. Nails it.
Yes.
Actually, pretty close. I wasn't far behind you. I was in the top 600 as well.
Oh my God! This is the first time I'm actually first, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So PGL,
what?
They obviously come second, and it's very close.
Very close right now.
Everyone in the top 600 is towards. So that's pretty cool.
But I think everyone has players for tomorrow as well. Do
we do it again?
Or do we do new teams?
I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. I don't really understand any of that.
Me neither.
So
I don't know. Well, whatever. I win.
6-4-5.
I got absolutely demolished there. Jeez.
Well, thanks for coming.
Pretty close between me and PGL on Twitch, though.
I assume we keep the same team. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Who knows? No, fresh teams tomorrow. Just been told. So, Metis, you have another chance of bouncing back. So, do your homework tonight.
I will.
And maybe you can bounce back stronger. But that just about does it for us tonight at the PGL, the first night of the last chance group stages. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. The same lineup. Sedicus still is away. So, join us tomorrow. Thank you very much for staying with us. And we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Tunneled off position, but somehow the CTs are still getting frags from this precarious position, and there is
I think they were lined up pretty perfectly for him. Yep, there we go. Just a spray down, and all the stars aligned once again.
But they're still grinding. They're still grinding away at the CT.
Smits is starting to wake up there. He's got the scout in his hands. Nico needs to be careful. He's trying to tap across. Maybe the confidence will get the better of him here. He is challenging long range, and he is going to get both.
Terminator mode. Good lord.
One taps all across the board.
The difference in his movement and decision making when he has confidence as well is just astronomical. I've seen him on overpass where has been picked off. Now Nico, now is your time to shine if ever. There's the second frag. He's looking for a third, but the bomb is being meanwhile it's all on Mouse to just push onto this site and try and claim it once more for themselves.
Well, never caught him up though. And Galil for Dennis.
They give him the AK, the way he's playing tonight, lights out for him. Got a decent spawn as well, so he probably will take that with the Mac 10. And you get that kind of spawn, you will just run out.
Oh my goodness. I don't even at this point. What spray control from Dennis? That was
getting sandwiched. Look at this.
Boom. Money here. Shoxy. Look at that long spawn.